Okay, Tech and Pride, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another installment of Tech and Pride. Like I said, you know who I am, and I want to welcome a special guest to the show, the Super Guru. I have so many titles for her, but I'm not gonna go into all of them. But my favorite Google Guru, Melissa, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing good, and thank you for having me today.
Well, thank you for taking the time out. I know you are very busy, so thank you for taking the time out to talk with us today. So, pretty much, you know what the show is all about. It's all about letting people know about the different areas in technology that they can get into. So, of course, I have to talk to you because you are my favorite Google person. So, tell us a little bit about your background as far as in technology. How did you get into technology, and go from there?
Okay. Well, like I said, my name is, gosh, like you said, my name is Melissa Summerford, and I guess I'll talk about like my story and how I began this whole journey.
Yes.
I did meet Lafayette, had a pleasure of meeting him. We worked together. So he's talking about me like I'm some good Googler. Lafayette has so much information as well. But so let's go back and talk about like how I got started on this. I've been in education for about 16 years, and I started off as a paraprofessional in a district. And I just, as I was a para, I was like, I know I wanted to be a teacher. I saw what teachers did. I just loved that whole experience and how the students, how they saw their teacher and their teacher made such an impact on them. So as a para, I worked for 4 years as a para, and I went to school part-time. So I kind of did it opposite, and I was having my kids throughout that whole time. Well, finally became a teacher, and when I was in the classroom, I noticed when I started incorporating like technology into my lessons, I saw like the level of engagement rise.
Mhm.
Lafayette, because I graduated in '94. I'm gonna go ahead and say my age.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
And when I was in school, we didn't have access to a lot of technology. I remember in high school taking a microcomputer software application class, and it was coding. I was like, and it was floppy disk and all that. So I don't really know where this journey, like how it sparked. It was when I saw the kids and how, they didn't want to go to recess because they wanted to use like Go Animate to create avatars and write stories.
Yeah.
When I saw, yes, and when I saw that engagement, it like excited me. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I've got to design lessons that incorporate this into, because it was like a teaching high, and I wanted it because I saw my kids and it pushed me to want it even more.
Yeah.
So that's how it started for me.
Okay. So you started out as an instruction. So you started out in the classroom. So how did you decide that you wanted to move on further in technology, and what part of technology you wanted to adapt? Because there's so many different careers and so many different ways that you can go. So how did you end up choosing what direction to go in?
Well, since I incorporated a lot of technology, but I never saw it like, oh, I want to be an instructional tech. I wanted to be a third grade teacher forever. Until one of my AP called me, Kelly Jones, I'll never forget her. She pulled me in. She's like, Melissa, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was like, as a classroom teacher, of course, because that's what I love and that's what I'm always going to do. And she's like, no, Melissa. She goes, I see you can make more of an impact. Have you thought about administration or being a coach? And I was like, So that kind of got my wheels turning like over the next couple of years. And I started thinking, do I want to go back to graduate school? And I just wasn't ready, at the time. I ended up moving on to a different school and working there. And that principal that I had, Holly Ray, like these are my two people.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, these are my two people that like I have to talk about them because
Okay.
they made me into who I am, and so I have to give them credit.
All right,
So,
no problem.
so Holly was the one who said, hey, Melissa, have you thought about going into technology? I was like, no, I didn't know that existed. So, like I didn't know you can be an instructional technology person. So once I found that the path for that, I found it through Lamar, and oh my goodness, like once I got in that program, that's what catapulted me on to what I'm doing today, because that program really set the precedent of what I wanted to do.
So you started, it's basically like software support, right? Because in education, you and I know it's a whole lot of different pieces of software that you use. So you actually start out actually just supporting the software, right?
Yes, and yes,
Okay.
I started doing that, and then being the go-to person on my campus. They're like, "Hey, Melissa, do you want to be the technology liaison?" I was like, "Okay." So I helped do a little bit of troubleshooting, but then teachers would also come to me and say, "Hey, Melissa, I want to design this lesson. What do you think I should use?" And so that's how it kind of really started off, because the program that
Mhm.
I took through Lamar was like digital learning and leading. So it was more of like using technology to really create significant learning environments in the classroom. So
Okay.
it
Okay.
was that program that said, "Huh, this is what I want to do." And
Okay.
then that's when I started thinking, "Yep, I'm going this route."
Okay. So tell us how you fell into Google. How did that come around?
Um, that starts off when I went to my first, my district put out an email, "Who wants to become Google certified level 1?" I was like, "What's this?" Okay, I know Google. I'll go take the class. So I signed up, and when I signed up for the class, I went and I went through the day of training. It was a 2-day training, and I learned the information, and I took the test and eventually became Google level 1 certified. And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is pretty neat." I got a cool badge, and I learned. It wasn't just the badge, it was because I learned so many things that I thought I knew that I didn't going
Yep.
through the training program. It
Right.
transformed everything for me, Lafayette.
Yeah,
Like,
because I did that for that 4-day certification class too, and there is so many things that you learn. You didn't even,
yes,
I had no idea Google. I mean, this was a couple years ago when I did it, but I had no idea that Google actually offered so many different things. I mean, and
yes,
that's why I love Google so much, is because pretty much think of a problem and Google has a solution for it.
yes, exactly. And it
Yeah.
really pushes you to think of how the problems that you have as a classroom teacher and how you're going to leverage Google tools to solve that.
Yeah.
And not even stopping at level 1. I was like, "I'm going to try level 2." Did that, and I was like, and then I started getting involved with the PD company and being a consultant on the side, and just going out and doing different trainings here and there, like just volunteering and doing all for free,
Yeah.
just because I wanted to share what I was doing in my classroom, and I thought everyone needed to know this. Like,
Yeah.
life can be easier. Like, your students will. I had like a mission and a story and stuff just to tell. So I started traveling to Dallas, Plano. I went to ISTE, like, for just doing it for free until I got. I know. And my husband's like, "Are you crazy? We're paying for these hotel expenses." I was like, "I love it, and I need teachers to know this. How great it is."
Yes, 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 yes. Because there is so much out there. I mean, I thought about it the other day. I mean, it's obvious, but there's more software, more apps than there are people that know how to use them, or people that
Hmm.
actually even care how to use them. Because what happens is you get stuck doing something so long this way, and there's always new things coming around, and you're just not willing to learn the new things. So that's what I'm saying. And that's why it's so important for people to get acclimated to technology and get acclimated to change, because it's always changing. It's always
It
evolving.
is. It
You
is,
know.
and I'm a strong advocate for those Google certifications, because
Hmm.
it transformed my classroom teaching, and transformed my students. And because I felt passionate about it, I was able to take that and give it to my students. But I went through the level 2, and then I became a trainer, and then I never thought I was going to do this. And I remember talking to you, Lafayette, when I first met you, because I was like, "Oh, he likes Google products too." And I remember I was like, "Lafayette, mark my word, I'm going to be an innovator." You're like, "Oh, those people, they think really different." Or you gave me something. I was like, "I'm going to do it. Watch, Lafayette." And
Hmm.
look, I do have to say, I will be graduating tomorrow, actually.
Ah, ah,
I'm so excited. Like, I never
I
thought I
am
was going to do this, Lafayette.
I
I
am
mean, I knew I
so
was.
I am so proud of you, because like the conversations that we had in the past, and I told you, pursue your passion, right? If that's what you love to do, just do it, no matter what happens. And you see your reward. That's why I say you're my Google goddess.
It's just because of what it's done for me, I want others to see what it can do for them in their classrooms. As long as they just keep learning and don't give up. Like I'm the first parent. I'm the first family member to graduate high school. Like, it wasn't like my parents didn't graduate high school, so I was the first to graduate high school. My brother and I graduated college together. I went on to get my master's, and it's like I thought I was going to end up working in retail, like, and just live in Victoria and have kids and not like really pursue my dreams. And it's like I look back and I think, I cannot believe that I did all this. I just can't believe it. And I still think that. So I want people to know, even it doesn't matter where you come from, where where you start off in life, as long as you work hard and be that lifetime learner. And, I had struggles throughout college. I had struggles throughout school. I remember teachers, all the red X's, and I was not good at math, but, all of those things, I fell for it, and I just kept on going. I didn't give up.
Yeah,
and that's how I continue to live.
And that's the key to technology. It's persistence, because we talk about change. Things are always evolving, so you always have to have an open mind, and you always have to be learning. And that's where the persistence comes in, because where you were, let's say 5 years ago with Google, I'm sure you're 10 times warp speed different direction right now, right? Because you didn't even know anything. You thought you knew something 5 years ago, but now it's like, oh wow, right?
Yes, it is. I did end up leaving public education. I took that chance. Like I said, I started working with that consulting company, and now, like, I'm still a teacher, but now I work for a Google PD partner, and I'm teaching teachers, and it's amazing. I do it virtually. Hopefully eventually I'm going to do it in person. Okay. But oh my gosh, the connections I have made just by joining this company and being a part of a global education group, which really helped me make connections all over the world, just like networking.
So I had a chance to talk with your group, and that was, you said how I was acting, right? I was like, wow, I was trying to contain myself. I can't believe I have this many Google people on one call. So I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, oh my God, what? So,
right?
So tell us about that group. Tell us how that was.
Oh gosh, this happened like in March, when all of this when COVID hit us. I was asked by my consultant company if I wanted to lead the GEG Texas, because you have to be like a K through 12 educator to lead it. And I said yes. I always say yes, because what's it gonna hurt? I was like, I'm saying yes. I don't even know what I'm saying yes to, but I'm saying yes. And because I did that, I was able, like, it was so crazy, Lafayette, because I was working and doing my full-time job, and then after work putting in extra hours to train teachers for free online through Texas and through global. Like, all of these people were donating their time to get teachers ready, because they're so passionate about integrating technology into the classroom. And so we came together, and we have a GEG YouTube channel where we posted all of the sessions that we did. I mean, at one time I was doing like 3 sessions a week, and people were like, hey, how can I get in? And and then being moderators, and then making sure I help. I don't know how I did that, but I was like, I was having FOMO. I was not going to miss out on any of that.
No, but you see, that's the benefit about doing something that you actually love doing. It's
not work.
So that's the benefit. And see, that's the thing, the message that I want to get across to young people that want to get into technology. When you have certain skills, when you try to always improve yourself, you're always in demand. So that's why I always emphasize to always be learning, always learn new technology, learn new skills, so that way you can be more valuable on the job market, right?
Yes.
If you didn't take those different levels, where would you be right now? You wouldn't be where you are, right? Right. So
I sure wouldn't.
You kept on learning, so that's an important lesson that we need to mention as well. So fast forward to where you are right now. You're doing consulting for people all over the place, right?
Yes. And I'm actually getting paid for it. I'm like, really? I'm getting paid now.
That always sounds when you get paid for it, right? so I know you're living a dream right now, but what is the difference between that and education in terms of how it makes you feel?
It's the same. Like, as far as like what I did as a classroom teacher, I'm still, and it's even more so now, because now, like as a classroom teacher, you're writing those lesson plans and then you're pushing them out to students and you're seeing the level of engagement, right? Well, now I get to do that like for teachers, like online, teaching those teachers. And like my principal said, Kelly, when she told me all those years ago, don't you want to make a difference? And Kelly, I finally get to say, yes, I am, because I'm teaching teachers and those teachers are teaching their students. So now, like she said, I'm able to impact more students through the teachers. And now that's the first time I've said that. It gives me goosebumps because Kelly told me, don't you want to reach more kids? And I was like, yeah. And that's what she made me thought. And like, yes, I'm finally doing that. And now I was talking to my husband the other day. I've always been like, gosh, I feel like I should be doing something more. Like each job that I had, and I was a teacher, I was like, yes, but I feel like I want to make a bigger impact. What am I going to do? And like now I'm finally like content, and I'm like, this is it. Like, this is what I wanted to do all those times. I don't have that feeling anymore because now I get to do that.
Yeah, so everything that you've worked for is built up and led you to this point.
Yep.
So that's the journey, right?
Yes, and it's all about the journey to enjoy it, and that's now you get so caught up and I can't wait to do this, and I want to do this, and I look back and thinking of my classroom, and did I really make an impact on those students? And you don't know until like years later. And yesterday I got a call from a friend who teaches 6th grade at a campus, and she said, hey Melissa, I'm just calling because I wanted to tell you I have one of your students who was in 3rd grade, and she wrote on the blog post, we were talking about people who inspired them, and she said, Miss Summerford inspired me to be a teacher and helped me to write literature. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's what you hope to do. And that little girl was in my class in the middle when I was implementing all those changes, because I was all about giving students a voice, making them leaders. Like I changed my classroom those few years that she was with me and gave them, that's where I had that big push of student ownership and choice and voice. And oh my gosh, and she was in there, and like I can say like, oh my gosh, that's what I wanted. And that letter right there kind of like, that was it.
Yeah. So it's all coming together for you, or it's already pulled together for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to see that you're happy, and I thank you for joining me today. So if there's anything that you want to leave with young people that want to get into technology, what would your message be to those people?
Well, it goes back to this message that I remember it was my social studies economic teacher in high school told me. She didn't tell me. She said it in a pep rally, and I've lived with it every year, all my years. And when I'm about to give up, I think of what she told during a pep rally: never give up, never give up, never ever give up. So when I've come to those moments where, God, this is too hard, I can't do this, I kept saying that quote that she told me. And that comes from Winston Churchill in a battle that he had, and she gave it to she just said it in a pep rally, and she doesn't know like how much her message like meant to me, and it stayed with me all these years because I've used it and thought of it every time I wanted to give up on something.
Okay. So that's right. Oh, you heard it right. Never give up. Persistence. Love what you do. Live it. Be who you are. Right.
Yes,
This is a classic example.
Be you.
Can you all see that smile on her face? See how happy she is? I'm telling you. All right, Melissa, thank you for taking the time out to join me today. I really do appreciate it. I am so proud of you. I already told you that 100 times. I'm not gonna tell you.
Thank you, Lafayette. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that our paths crossed and we were able to connect.
Yes, absolutely. She's my favorite Google person, so if you want anything with Google, let me know and I'll hook you up, okay? All right, Melissa, take care. Thank you.
Okay, you too.
Right, bye.
Bye.